Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 3 of my tutorial on how to start a phone farm. We're building a board. As we did in episode 1, we talked about what you would need to set up a board just like this, all the equipment you would need, how to keep it working and charged, some of the different types of phones that you could use. Episode 2 brought us into how to hook everything up, how to get it all through, keep it organized so that all your wires are safe, and how to properly attach your phones to the board, whether they be in a horizontal or a vertical position. It will allow you to keep neat and organized. In this third part, part 3, we're going to talk about what is on the phone itself that will make you money. Now, I have a number of them. I might have to turn down the brightness if we can't see on here too much, but we're going to start here on the end, and you'll see Viggle. That is, in the terms of service, a one device limit, although I know a number of people have used many more, including myself. I've safely used 2 for quite a while now. Sometimes I put a third in there. The good thing about this, it is a Perk app. I will talk about Perk as a group of apps here a little bit later. But no, that will be your fallback for your oldest phone, because a lot of these won't be able to run other apps. As a matter of fact, this is one of the only apps that can run on this style phone. That's why I run it. That's why you see on that screen only one device there. So Viggle, it is a Perk app in the Perk family, so you will need a Perk account itself. I was hoping to get that a little zoomed in. I guess it doesn't want to. Next, we're going to come in here and we're going to look at, if we can get it zoomed in on the screen. Sorry, this is exactly how I set up my phones. You'll see CoinPop, that is a pay the download app. And I will have links and descriptions for all this stuff down in the bottom so you know what the family of app is. It's easier just to write it all out to what all is in what family so you know what to download. CoinPop is an AppLike app. It is from the AppLike family, and it is a pay the download app. So what you see directly to the right of that is the app that it is running to make its coins that pay out. Directly underneath of that is YooTv. The You family of apps, or YooLotto family of apps, you will use if you are trying to run a more passive phone farm. They are the most passive of the apps. And YooTv is one of the 3 primary ones that I try and use. Every one of these phones on the board should have more than one available app to run at any point of time for a different number of reasons. We'll go back to this phone here and we'll hold it up so we get a good zoom. As you'll see, there is a pay the download app, and then underneath is a passive running app. The idea on this is if there's nothing available to run on the pay to download app, or it's something that's not as beneficial to run due to the number of coins that it earns, I have a fallback app right there on the phone, something that is very passive and something that can run for quite a while without having any problems itself. As you see, this is the setup I like to use on my phones. I like to have the settings and the Google settings right there on the home screen when you come in, as well as the Play Store at the bottom. This is all for convenience, and you will see as I move throughout the phones, this setup is kind of standard on almost all of my phones. Now, I've done other videos talking about why you should clear the cache on each one of your apps every day, as well as reset the Google ID. I will have that in the up on a card, so you can take a look at that. I'm not going to go too much into how I actually set it up. I want to talk about the apps that are on the device and why I'm using them. So we start off with one paid to download app and one passive running app below that. That's on this device here. Next, and these are all on my 10 phone farm, and we're going to see, let's get the zoom in, there we go. And we will have on the upper left, Perk word search. Now, Perk word search is one of the more passive apps from the Perk family of apps. It will run fairly passive for a couple of hours. It earns very well. I've never had any problems with using it. It always seems to work, so there's no issues as far as crashes on the phone itself. It works very well. And if I know I can have time where I can check on the phones every hour or two, Perk Word Search is the most passive, other than Viggle, if you set it up right, for the Perk family of apps. YooWatch. Now this is another YooLotto app, and it's all going to pay to the same thing when you go into your actual device to cash out. So that YooTv and this YooWatch is all going to the same place. There is a third app that we'll see on a phone coming up that I will talk about in that You family of apps as well. But the idea here is I have a higher paying semi-passive app followed by a fully passive app right below it on the same phone, so that if for some reason I'm going to be away, or if at night, I can run it on the fully passive YooWatch app. Doesn't pay as high as the Perk app, but it is fully passive and can run for more time. Now, YooWatch is a 5 device limit, but being that we're working with a 10 phone farm, that shouldn't be a problem at all. We're going to move over to our next phone down here on the table, and we're going to take a look here once we get it to kind of zoom in. Sorry about that there, folks. Perk Word Search, talked about it already, fairly passive. And OnTheGoTv. This is another YooLotto app in that same You family of apps, pays to the same place when you go in and check your earnings. Now, when you sign up for this, you will need a YooLotto app. And I do keep that on my primary phone, and I use it to monitor all of my devices themselves, and that's where I will cash out. Also, Perk the same way. I keep it all on my primary phone. It is Perk Wallet. All these will be in the description, so you can go check them out on the Play Store. Most of this stuff is available for iOS. I don't use them, so I really don't know for sure, but know that OnTheGoTv is another one of those same type of apps as YooWatch. It will run passively with no problems at all. I have not had any problems with OnTheGoTv as far as paying out. It does pay lower than Perk Word Search, but remember, if you're not there for Perk Word Search every hour or two, it's going to stop on you, and then you'll be earning nothing. So that's why we have a semi-passive and a fully passive app right there on the phone. These are all apps that I recommend the beginner phone farmer running. You're going to cover all your bases, and everything will be set up perfectly for you to run all your phones. We're going to come into a fifth phone here. Once again, they're flipped around a little bit on here, but we have YooTv up on top, Perk Word Search, and another AppLike family there as well. If you only have 10 phones, there is no reason why you shouldn't have a pay-to-download app on each one. Not all of my phones have them, but I will have a list of all the AppLike apps. There are 8 that you should be able to run. I would recommend running at least one on each phone so that you have that pay-to-download option in there, because oftentimes if there's a good app to run, most of your phone farm will be running on that for at least 24 hours, but they don't always offer good things. As you can see, there is nothing next to that, which means I don't have an app that's readily available for me to run right now, so I'll be either using Perk Word Search or YooTv. Now, Perk Word Search is a 5 device limit, so just remember that if you are using Perk Word Search, only on 5 of your 10 devices. Now, this next one I don't use in my 10 phone farm itself. I don't really recommend it unless you have higher grade phones that have lots of storage. But for the international users. And when I say international, I mean anybody that is not in the United States, Canada, Australia, or Great Britain. Cash Magnet, there it is on the left, and then I make a separate folder for all the games you're going to have to download. I have 14 games downloaded just by the way that this app works. I've done a number of videos as well. There will be, if you look on the above, you should be able to click on that. You can see some of the Cash Magnet videos about how that works. I don't recommend this for the beginner phone farmer. And the reason why I don't is because it takes a while for them to pay out. If I can look on here, they are right now behind on their payouts for me about 3 weeks. And it has been as much as almost 3 months before they paid out. That's why I don't recommend them right off the bat as a good earner for a beginning phone farmer, just because it really does get demoralizing. If you're just starting phone farming, you don't really know about the way that stuff cashes out, you may have to wait a while. Not that it's a bad app, it earns fairly well. You can put it on 4 different devices and run at the same time. And with that, you will earn fairly quickly, especially if you have a rooted phone. They do run much better on a rooted device. But for the beginning phone farmer, not highly recommended. For the international phone farmer, anybody outside of those 4 countries that I just talked about, this is a good option for you. Cash Magnet is that best option that I can really say for international. There are some AppLike apps I will list in the full list. You'll have to go through and check what are available, because not all of them are available outside of those 4 major countries, but I know a few of them are. Just to come up, we're going to take a look at some of the other ones on the board. You can kind of look here. I don't know if you can really see too well the color, but the purple circles indicate YooWatch. They're currently running YooWatch. These next 2 that you just saw blink there, they are OnTheGoTv. The ones that are sitting here on a common app are using AppLike, whether this one is Fitplay running, and I kind of don't remember offhand what ones are running on each phone. I really should write them on there, but I only keep 1 per phone for that reason. So I have 4 phones running a solid pay the download app. I kind of alternate them that way, so there's always a couple earning. Most everything else is running either Viggle, that is my second one. I have to get it back started. It did just finished what it was doing. I have ran 2 of them together. Not totally advisable to start off with. I'd say stay with 1 Viggle app for the beginning. The rest of them right now are all running YooLotto apps. So that is YooTv, YooWatch, and OnTheGoTv. They, right now, are kind of my go-to. Perk word search, wasn't seeing as many ads, so I switched off to a fully passive let run. That is the beauty of running multiple apps on your phones. Don't just make a 10 phone farm and run a single app. The way that you maximize your returns is running multiple apps, finding a little bit each day when you first set them up in the morning, what's going to earn you the best, and then let them work for you. Don't mess around too much. Once you find the 1 or 2 apps you're comfortable with, that's what I recommend using. There is a lot of other information out here on YouTube as far as apps that you can run on your phone. If you look in the description, I will have them all listed out. There really are too many to just go through right here on the video. I'll have the ones that I recommend underneath. Feel free to check out other YouTubers that do phone farming, because everybody kind of has their own way they like their phones set up and the apps they feel work best for them in their area. What I'm giving you is the best apps in my experience to start off with, because of ease of use, just the number of crashes that the apps have, and ones that I know pay out. So Perk, the whole Perk family, there is other apps that developer has that do pay out, but they are not passive. You will need to spend time clicking on your phones to advance them through. You can make good money if you have the phones in front of you. If you're spending time sitting at a desk like this and you can manage to click on phones that are just a reach away, the earnings potential is much higher for you. But for the average person that's going to leave these at home and are going to leave them set up just to run, a more passive, a better experience you're going to see. So, just a quick run over. Viggle, it's a Perk app. It's going to pay to your Perk account. That is on your lowest end phones. They run fine, and a matter of fact, sometimes they run better on a lower end phone. Next, you're going to try and run one pay the download app on 8 of your devices. There's 8 AppLike apps out there right now. There's no reason why you can't put one on each device. All of them linked to the same email for ease of cashing out. Also, a YooLotto app on here as well, whether it be YooTv, as you see there, whether it be YooWatch or OnTheGoTv. I like to keep a fully passive running app available on the same phone as well. You can throw in some of that Perk word search, mostly passive, but not totally. That's why I keep a fully passive one on there. And then lastly, if you are looking for an app that pays you, if you are in other countries other than the 4 I listed, Cash Magnet really is your go-to app itself. Also, do try to look at the list of the AppLike apps that I have listed below. They will help you out. So really, this one is not so much about the video, which you're listening to it, but the information is in the description of the video. That's where you're going to find the links. That's where you're going to see exactly what you're going to need, because there are so many apps available to you right now. Some good, some bad, but the ones I just talked about are the best ones for you to start out as a 10-phone farmer. It will get you quick payouts. It will get you consistent payouts. And that, for the beginner, is what I feel needs to happen in that first couple of weeks, so that you can see that you are earning money, that this is a viable thing to do, and you will, most importantly, get that return on investment we will talk about in the final episode, episode 4. I'm going to go over, there's my 2018-2019 book there. I talk about it every week in my phone farming weekly wrap-up. Tuesday, when the 4th video comes out, we're going to talk about what I've earned since August of 2018. That's when I started keeping track of everything that I've earned with my 10 phones, which is my original board up here. Before we started building that one, then I'm going to talk about what you can expect to earn. You're not always going to earn it because location is important. I'm going to break it down on what I earned from each app so you can see exactly what it is. I thank you all for watching. I hope you find this tutorial helpful. If you do, please give it a big thumbs up on there. If you like what I do here on the channel, check out some of my other videos, see some of those playlists, and hit that subscribe button, because I'm going to keep bringing you the positive phone farming news here through this whole year. There's been a lot of negativity coming into this year. We're going to be positive this year. We're going to push to find the apps that are working the best in 2019 so we can get the most earnings. And remember, if you're watching this and you're a current phone farmer, introduce phone farming to somebody new this year. It's the best thing that you can do. It can help people out. It doesn't take very much to get started, as I've shown you just in these few videos. So do that. And as always, everybody, have a great day.